Welcome to the Kinkazoid podcast, where you get some education on your form of stimulation. With your hosts, Royal, Chase, and Trey Proper. Buckle your seatbelts because it's going to be a wild ride. Let's get kinky.
Welcome to another wonderful episode of Kinkazoids. We got a great show lined up for you. Of course, your boy Trey Proper, the four-show phenom up in this jump. About to give y'all some great content. Yes, this is going to make it a thing. Don't know me. We're making it a thing. Hashtag four-show phenom. See me.
Whatever.
Anyway. Okay. I am joined, of course, by my lovely co-hosts. I'm glad you guys came back to deal with me and my toxic traits. Go ahead and introduce yourselves, ladies.
What's up? It's your girl, Royal.
What's going on, Chase or C. Hayes? No matter how you say it, as long as that flavor stays in your mouth.
Damn it, I'm going to have to get a tagline. I'm sick of both of y'all asses. Both of y'all.
Right. Look, I do mine's off the cuff every day. So you just got to let it go. Whatever comes to your mind, whatever comes to your lips, just let it go.
Noted. Thank you.
All right, so let's start this thing off. We're going to get into our Kinks of the week, our toys selection. First things first, I'm going to bring up mine. It is none other than the Kink Wand, electrical impulse therapy item. Basically, it's made to stimulate follicles, your fingers, your skin, and it has varying levels of intensity. It's great for your extremities. I wouldn't put it on the holiest of holies, but if you're into touch play, if you're one of your love languages is touch, it definitely increases sexual stimulation. And
Mr. Proper, your
yes.
sound is going out a little bit. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Oh, okay. Sorry. You know, fuck it. I'm just gonna hold the damn mic so y'all can hear me now. Because the mic has been messing with me all day and it's pissing me off. But yeah, so it definitely increases. Do I sound better now?
You sound so
much better.
Okay, I do apologize for that. Sorry for not doing that right. Trey had to hold his tongue. Yes, I did. Anyway, but yeah, it definitely helps increase things, and it comes with multiple differences of attachment. And it's also good for poly play because as we are humans, we do have electrical impulses inside us. If one person is touching another, you can actually stimulate both by touching one. So it's a fun little thing. And there's another attachment that I found on, of course, Amazon, which has all the kinky things that you need.
Of course.
And there's actually a flogger attachment, as if you see in the pictures there. So you can get some flog and play in along with your electroshock play, if you want to call it. And the original apparatus is going for about $87 on Amazon. So it's not too far outside of the ballpark pricey. All right. Ladies, did you have any toys?
So for my toy of the week, since we were going with something more punishing, I'm a person who loves a paddle. And I enjoy, okay, first of all, we don't need the animation with it, Trey. Like,
Yes,
relax a little bit.
Yes, you do.
So you can get a longer paddle. I personally like a circular paddle, just because it doesn't leave too much of a marking if needed. And it also relieves a little of the sting. So if you get a longer paddle, of course, the end point will leave the sting on there, which you might, if you're not too really, good with pain, you might not want. So if you get a circular paddle, it just has an even amount of pain going across wherever you like to get hit at. They have all different types of paddles. You can get ones that have fur lined with it. You can have a double one that has kind of like the leather pieces at the end versus with the paddle too. You get like a kind of double entendre, in that too, if you like whips and chains and all those things in there. But it's this flog, But I like the paddle. So that's what I chose for my toy. Go ahead, Royal.
Okay, so staying along the lines of things that smack. So the the toy that I chose this week is an actual good old fashioned flogger. Okay, so floggers, you know, they range in price depending on the material, because you can get it in leather, you can get it in suede, you can get actual chain floggers, like however you want to do it. There is a toy out there for y'all. They usually range in price from like $25 plus, like I said, based on the material that you get. So what I like about the flogger is that it gives you that good old fashioned smack like a paddle, if that's what you're into, but then it also has like, of course the flogger has like the little falls. So depending on, you know, who the person is that's swinging, you can also get like a sting. And the sting of it is a little better because it's just enough, you know, I guess pain, just enough pain without the actual bite of the pedal, which is great. It makes the area that you're paddling extra sensitive to touch, and it just, you know, heightens the pleasure and stuff like that. So yeah, the flogger, that's where it's at for me.
All right. I like it all. Flogging is, I want to find a volunteer for actually getting into that. That I think would be something that's right about.
Oh, you're looking for a tribute?
Yes, absolutely. Somebody I can actually get into that role playing, and you know, because I'm a self-proclaimed soft dom, so I do want to get into that playing, most definitely. And yeah,
all right,
so
audience, y'all heard that Trey's looking for volunteers, so y'all know.
Don't do that.
I'm just
I'm not looking anyway, because yeah, stay on my damn DM. So the next portion. Sorry, I got distracted because you said that. You threw me off track like you do every damn week. Anyway, next thing is our sexual position of the week. Now, this one is something that is near to dear to my heart. It's something that, you know, if you had a long day, back's hurting, you need just a couple more minutes to just lay there and just be lazy during sex, because not every sexual act needs to be a marathon Herculean effort. Sometimes you want to be intimate, you want to be soothing, you want to be cuddling. So this one I present as the side cuddle. The side cuddle is basically you two partners laying on their sides for rear entry. It's like laying down doggy, to put it simple. Mm-hmm. And you can also, it's very simple to implement a lot of toy play because you can reach around the front. And you can also, depending on your pillow placement, the person doesn't have to be facing away from you. They can be facing towards you as well. So you can still implement kissing, hugging, touching, toy play, like I said. But yeah, checking out the comments. Chuck Clark, of course, from Studio 53 is, but shut up. Anyway. But yeah, that's my sexual position of the week. And side note, I did want to give a special sidelight. I wanted to apologize for anybody who asked for it, but I didn't finish. So if you have not joined our Discord for Kinkazoid, I actually started dropping a storyline in there, kind of showing off my literary capabilities. But if you want part 2, join the Discord, let us know. Had to throw that out. Okay. Anything else that you guys want to add before we move on?
I just want to add before we move on that everything that we've displayed here today, we will add to our Discord on the Kinky Elite chat.
It's called The Lazy Dog. Really, dude? Really? And Brittany Berry, let's go on YouTube. Thank you, Jordy. Appreciate it. Okay. But speaking of intimacy and getting in touch with people, even using the side cuddle, got a question for you ladies. Let's talk about music for a second, because I feel like music is something that's integral to a good amount of bedroom play. Sometimes you can do it, and you can do it without music. You want to hear all the slaps and slurps and claps all you want, but occasionally you want to set the mood. You want to have a little bit of ambience. I want to ask my panel here, what's your favorite sex song? What song actually gets the juices flowing, takes you to a special place, holds a special place in your heart? What song in particular makes you jump up for joy, so to speak? I'm looking at you, Chase, because your face.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I All right, guys. Okay, I'll go first, I guess. All right, so my top sex song on my playlist is "Warmth" by Janet Jackson out of her album Demita Joe. The song basically is based around what we talked about last week, oral pleasure. So she basically is saying there's no other place, kind of like warmer than my mouth. I'm like, this is where it is. It's hot, it's nice and warm and wet, and I'm about to give it to you the best way I possibly can. And we all know Miss Jackson, well, Janet, Miss Jackson, if you're nasty, we all know how disgusting she is. So you can only imagine the amount of this in the greatest way ever. Like, I mean, we're not gonna sit here and talk like, oh, she's so sensual. Janet be saying some stuff, okay? Let's not forget that video that she had when she went on her world tour and she had homeboy strapped on stage and she was riding him like a thoroughbred, okay?
Hey, real side note, ain't no way that bomber was ready for that, because ain't no way everybody would know what Trey working with that thing, because I'd have been at full attention.
Wow. Exactly.
Miss Jackson is, I'm gonna shut up.
Exactly. Anyway. So Miss Jackson, okay, did the daggone thing in that song, and it's been, and I think that album came out in like 2006. So yes, was I too young to be knowing about what was going on? Yes, but it doesn't matter because the song in itself just does it. It's nice, it's soft, it's sensual, and you just hear Janet Jackson just like whispering throughout the whole entire song. I mean, what wouldn't want you? What wouldn't? I mean, I'm just saying, plainly. My knees are ready when the song comes on, okay? If I hear the song, I'm just like...
Wait, did you say my knees are ready? Is that what you just
said?
Yes,
I'm waiting for the phone line. Hello, sir. What you doing? It looks like today is your day. It's just one of those songs that just kind of put me in the mood to get something started and get it hot and steamy.
Okay.
All right, fair enough.
All right, I guess it's my turn, because I saw how Chase tried to slide it off to me in the beginning. But we're not going to talk about that.
I was like, yeah, do your thing, boo.
That's all right. It's okay. So, my favorite, I guess my top pick, is actually Skin by Rihanna from her Loud album. I think it was like from 2010. And it's like from the very beginning of the song, the beat is what grabs you. Okay? And like Quiet as It's Kept, I kind of did like a little striptease to this dance, but we're not going to talk about that. I mean, to this song.
Right. This is a safe space. You can talk about how you feel.
Honestly,
was it stilettos? Was it like what kind of apparel was worn?
Okay, so there were stilettos involved, lingerie, thigh highs, garter belt, that type of thing.
Good song.
I know, right? Come on. Turn it back. Anyway.
See, but you can't be shy on this show, Joe. You got to let it hang out. It is what it is.
For our plus size ladies, where could they, acquire search clothing? Or what kind of stores? Man.
So some of my favorite lingerie places, and y'all know me, like sometimes my stuff be on a pricier side because I like good quality material. But Savage Fenty, while we're talking about Rihanna, that's one of my favorite places to shop for my lingerie. So Savage Fenty, I like Hips and Curves. They're really good too with their pieces. God, it's a couple other places. Like Shop Vera is really good too. With their, I think it's, I don't know if it's Shop Vera or Love Vera or something like that. I forgot. But, they have really nice pieces too. So
if you guys are familiar with those locations, please drop them in the comments so we can actually get some links going into. Or drop
say that more time. I didn't hear you.
I was saying, for anyone who knows or has the access to the links to those places, if you could just help, each one help one. Drop the links in the comments or in the Discord or on the fan page so people can find them, so we can each help each other come along properly.
And I will drop a couple of links myself in the Kinky link.
Okay. So tell us more about Skin. Tell us what does for you.
The reason why I love this song so much is because it just gets you in that mood to where it's like you are ready to just drop everything. Because the song itself is just saying that I really don't want nothing in between us. Like, there should be no clothing on. All I'm in is in my skin. You know what I mean? That's all I want to feel. Your skin against my skin. That's it. So it just puts you in that mind frame. It was like, just take all your clothes off and let's get it in, like right now.
Okay.
A couple of words of that song just to kind of do it. The mood is set. You already know what's next.
You already know what's next. You know what's next.
Tell me, please.
TV on blast, turn it down. Okay? All I want to hear is me and you. That's it.
Exactly.
Hashtag Camism on YouTube said, "A word, Pat Rice." Takes notes. Good job. And checking out Facebook. The Leather Shop in DuPont Circle from Chuck Clark. Okay. Yeah, actually,
Okay.
yeah, I do know about that place. Okay. Yeah, good job. I guess it's my turn to speak about the song that makes me or takes me down memory lane the best. My song of choice is none other than the Queen Mother, Miss Erykah Badu, on her Worldwide Underground album. This song starts out with a slow rhythmic beat, and it's in addition to that, it is a 10-minute and 26-second track. I actually myself did a little bit of a dance to this song because I liked it so much. I was with at the time, my significant other. I set up a scenario where basically I had her blindfolded, I had her sitting in the chair, and basically I had the song playing on repeat in the background. I implemented a lot of things like feather play, as well as just a lot of touch stimulation and food simulation, basically getting her to try different types of food, strawberries, chocolate, so on and so forth. It was very interesting. That song stays in my mind because when it's time to get into it, it's definitely the rhythm. Your heart will start syncing up with the beat of this song as you start to go, and it increases in tempo the further in the song it goes, and you just start again at the 10:26 mark, and you can keep it on repeat and keep it.
Wow. Okay. Advertisement.
Okay.
So please tell me more about this sultriness that you did, because I find it rare that a male will speak on him doing some type of dance or like kind of having the woman sit in the chair and she receives like, you know, the overall audible and visual pleasure and all that. So please tell us how you came to this point in time where you were like, it's time to get my Magic Michael.
So I...
Oh, he needs a drink for that. Yeah. Okay. All right. Shot it.
I'm not shy when it comes to this. When I'm really into somebody, and at the time I was madly in love with this person, I didn't hold anything. So I went the extra mile. You know, I got the silk handcuffs. I got the lavender and vanilla candles, which I still love to this day, and set it up around the apartment. It was all very it was orchestrated. So, but as far as the dancing, I've got 2 left feet, but I can swivel my hips with the best of them. So, you know, that's the Jamaican side. And leading up to her being blindfolded, it was basically just me seducing her physically, non-verbally, and of course implementing the touch play, fingers from the bottom of her feet to the top of her head, you know, stuff like that. I don't want to go into too much detail of what exactly I did because I'm giving away trade secrets, but you know, I'm big on touch play. That's one of my love languages. It was hers at the time. So, but yeah, definitely, absolutely had to get it in. Hashtag Cam is no word T-Rex. Shut up.
If you guys ever want any more detailed stories, we do tell some story times in our Discord. So make sure you look us up on Discord, Kinkazoid Podcast. We get pretty weird in there. So it's very open, wild and open for everybody. We just always ask for. It gets pretty. Some things be happening in there, okay? So
things be happening.
So just
some things.
Please do not post your own. Please do not post your own personal experience documentation. You know, try to keep it with the professionals. If you're going to share some things there, we want to keep things a little bit more under the vest.
Exactly.
I know we're supposed to be a free space and all, but we have to be careful with that. We don't want to get into trouble, and we're not going to be responsible. Kinkazoid is not responsible for the sharing of other people's. So just throwing it out there.
Right.
We always want to take our people who get paid to do these things. So if they got paid for it, we want to give them the money for it.
And even then, we're still not responsible. We ain't say put it on it. But it is a free space to share with you. And we do get a little bit more descriptive there than we would here on this platform.
Right.
But speaking of intimacy, was there anything else you guys wanted to add to that? Anything else you wanted to chime in?
We will be creating a playlist. We're going to be making a post on Instagram soon, so please be on the lookout for that. And we will have a Kinkazoid podcast playlist. So if you have any songs that you think we should add into our Kinkazoid Sexy playlist, make sure to look out for our post on Instagram and drop your songs there so that way we can add them. And then, who knows, maybe we might have a special link on Spotify or any other listening streaming platforms.
Jamaica already dropped 2
I'm about to say
songs
Jamaica
in the
dropped
comments.
some.
Yep. Okay, all right. But speaking of intimacy, which is, really important, and physical touch, which I, of course, my love languages, we're going to dive into questions we put on the pages. Kissing, the different types of kissing, your opinions on it, how does it make you feel, if you like it or you don't like it. I did not, and I apologize to everybody out there, I didn't get a chance to look at the post to see what the over-under numbers were for it, but I'm pretty sure that we had a little bit of engagement on that. But asking the panel here, how do you ladies feel about kissing?
Should I go first?
Go
I know you jumped in. You jumped in a couple of times. Okay.
I mean, I know y'all put me first. Okay, so you gonna go first this time. Okay,
fine.
Me.
I overall enjoy kissing. Is actually one of my favorite things to do when I'm intimate. And typically I'm good with all types of kisses. The forehead kiss is the best, of course, because that's that ultimate gesture of love, kind of, when you kiss your
It's the knee buckle.
man.
It's the knee buckle. It is what it is.
It is a knee buckle.
We know what we're doing when we do it.
It is a knee buckle.
We know what we're doing.
It kind of takes
Y'all ain't slick. Y'all are not slick, okay? Y'all know exactly what the fuck y'all be doing.
Exactly. You receive a forehead kiss, man, it just takes your breath away for like 3 seconds. It just does something. It makes you go like, you
Like, you really like me.
Real quick, trade secret, don't just lean over and pet. Acquire the back of the neck and pull them forward. And then kiss the top.
And that's what leads to more kisses. Fuck that.
Yes. Yes.
Or if like she's like on your shoulder and you like sleeping or just resting, you kind of do like, okay, like that
And
right
that's
there.
the cute one.
When she's in the nook,
The nook.
you can definitely do that. But in that position, that's where you want to grab the chin and tilt her down. Because this is a whole technique.
And see, the thing for me is it's the, like Chase said, we could be like laying down with each other, cuddling or something, and then getting that full body pull in, and then getting the forehead kiss. That is everything.
Yeah. Well, that's absolutely. So the person should already be there, and if you in the nook, what I'm saying, you already getting the full brunt of the body. You already get it. So. That's just adding extra cherries on top, post or pre intercourse. So it can lead to it, or it can close it up and reignite it. So Chase. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you have more you wanted to talk about?
No, I mean, like I said, I'm good with all types of kisses, but the forehead kiss is one of my favorite.
Okay.
I would say that my favorite type of kiss is the earlobe kiss. Now I think that now you can't be having stanky ears, all right? You gotta wash the back of your ears, okay? Get some soap, get that cloth, scrub a dub. Do not be having no nasty ears, please. You can't just be doing this kiss with anyone. This is somebody that you know. This is someone you've seen their personal hygiene. You might have did a little sniff ear test when you were kissing on their neck one time. You gotta make sure, okay? You gotta make sure.
Absolutely.
But I more so like receiving the earlobe kisses than giving. I personally like giving all over kisses. So there's not like a type, but I'm a weirdo when it comes to kisses. I like sniff kisses, if that makes sense. I don't know if anybody else does sniff kisses, but it's like you almost do like it's a cute thing. I don't know. It's just like a really cute thing. And you kind of like slowly get closer to the person's face, like inch by inch. And then you just kind of give like a nice little kiss on the cheek. It's cute. I think it's like an adorable little something to do. But I like receiving earlobe kisses just because the earlobe is a hot spot of mine. But also just because it's gentle, like, because you can start off like with a cheek kiss and then it just kind of, it sits right there. So it's in between the neck, in between the earlobe, and it just kind of sets a mood. Like, it could just be a cute little, like, I just wanted to let you know, like, you looking real good, real scrumptious. I want to just give you a little taste, like, you know what I'm saying? Or it's just like the hand is gliding down in other places and we're going to start something. So either which way, like, it's a good spot. But I love earlobe kisses and I like giving, like, the sniff kiss. I don't even know if that's really a name, but it should be.
Can I honorable mention neck kisses? I'm sorry. Just to say real quick, I think neck kisses deserve an honorable mention because it's like, one of those kisses that catches you off guard kind of thing. Like you're not expecting it. And then they go in and then they kiss the neck and then it ends up being that spot. Mm-hmm. And it's like instant goosebumps, electricity, that type of thing. So I have to give Nick this as my honorable mention.
And I hope I'm not stepping on his, but like I like the.
I'm sorry.
The shoulder from behind. That one. When you like doing nothing, you just standing there, just being and living and breathing, and they come around the corner and just give like a cute little peck on the shoulder if it's like showable, obviously, or like right in the back. It's just like, oh, what you do that for? What's going on? You want me? What's up? What's going on? What's happening? But yeah, it's adorable. Go ahead, Trey. You got it.
So a couple of things that are most important when it comes to kissing in my book of secrets. One, you gotta have the
secrets. But continue.
But what's your favorite type of kiss before you go on to describing what kind of kisses?
First off, you gotta make sure you got good breath. Breath minty and clean before you do anything on top. It goes for men and women, because there's some women out there who, they love the tree, but the tree don't love their tongue. Anyway, had them out there. Oh yeah. Cottonmouth. Anyway, all right. Sorry to derail the whole sexual build-up. My favorite type of kissing, and Mr. Hashtag Canvas, we kind of called it out on YouTube, but it's the lip bite. When you go in, I'm all about the anticipation, the build-up, the generating of anticipation. You get closer and closer. When you go in, and you are not engulfing that person, but you're sampling. You're tasting them. You want to taste that bottom lip. It's mine. Yeah, it's all mine. And then you proceed to move into the other areas. But my second favorite is always the collarbone. The collarbone kisses are important. It's a very sensitive area, and it's oftentimes it's neglected by a lot of people because they just think, I'm just gonna kiss your neck, I'm gonna kiss your mouth, and I'm gonna kiss your cheek, and that's it. In the back of your head, I'm good. No, you want to get all those areas because women, depending on their endowments, can carry a lot of stress in their shoulders and their collarbone area. And adding intimate kisses to that area will definitely buckle the knees just as equally as a forehead kissing. So, but yeah, I'm definitely a lip biter. I'm definitely going to be getting a little animalistic. Not breaking any skin, but yeah.
Lip biting is top tier, though. Yeah. Like, honestly, like once the lip biting comes out, that's it. I mean, it's you know where it goes from there.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm an avid lip biter. Like, I just go on an attack. Like, that's why I look for plump lip people, because it's just, it's just like, because I got this medium lips going on, so they can be plump if they want to. Sometimes they can be a little smaller. So yeah, that's what I'm more so into and everything. But like when it comes to kissing, I'm more of into like the slow and then like the speed up. Like it gets real fast, real quick. Like, because then at that point, we already know what's gonna go down.
That's the I miss you, or I don't like you, or I'm mad, but I'm gonna do this. That's the type of kissing. I get you. So now we have to, of course, talk about the adverse side of things. I kind of hinted towards it in the beginning, something that turns me off about kissing. But what is a negative of kissing that you ladies may have observed in your?
Too much saliva.
Too much spit.
Yes, I can't. Kissing, of course, is a wet activity. You know what I'm saying, but it's the overabundance of spit is a problem for me. Like, I should not feel like I'm drowning in your spit when you're kissing me. I shouldn't feel like spit trickling off the side of my face. That type of shit. Another thing that irritates me is that your tongue is going in places where it does not belong. Like,
what? He's going behind your upper lip and your teeth.
Yeah, like all up in here and stuff. Like, no, it don't belong there. Or like, I'm trying to figure out, why is your tongue at the roof of my mouth? I don't understand. Yeah.
Everyone just forgets that spit. Once spit makes contact with skin, it has a smell. Like, it just automatically has a certain smell. So whether you're in the downstairs region, it doesn't matter. It's going to like have a smell. So it's just all up on like what your breath is smelling like. Like Jerry said, you can't be out here with the halitosis, okay?
Oh.
I understand, like, some people when they sleep at night, it doesn't, no matter what happens, the halitosis, baby, your bowels, okay? You need to do something. Clean them out. Do something, get it together. If you need to go to the dentist, you need to get to Delta Dental, do something with your mouth. And be sitting here with the most disgusting mouth on earth and expect you're going to be out here getting play. That's just not going to happen. And if you're talking to people and they do this a little bit when they're talking to them, like, it's you. It's you. Don't know what that smell is. It's you. It's your upper lip. It's your inside mouth. Nobody likes a white tongue. Make sure you're scraping that, of course, And so when it comes to kissing, I just don't like when people don't know. Like, there's a difference between, like, oh, we're getting real crazy, the tongue is going everywhere, and, like, the lips and stuff like that. There's a difference between that and I'm into it and you're into it. But don't push what you're into onto me. If I'm not to tongue play while kissing, don't be trying to flick it all over the place. That's, what are you, a serpent? Like, don't be doing all that, okay? If you don't know how to kiss and there's, for whatever reason, teeth clashing, you need to go home. Practice with your hand or something. I don't know what's going on here. But I personally don't like when people bite too hard. Like, yes, the old school hand, okay?
Fuck, I look like... Anyway, go ahead.
You know how to kiss it. You don't have to worry about that then, Trey. Okay? But one thing I hate is just like when it's just too, there's nothing, you're too soft, if that makes sense. Not calling you a punk or nothing, but like if you're too soft, if you're too gentle, like you're just like, oh, we're kissing.
Put the right amount of pressure behind it.
Yeah, like put some backing into it, okay? Like put some in your spine.
So you got
jagged edge,
a little tricky though.
I'm saying there's a time and place. If there's sweet caresses, like obviously we got candles lit or something. If we're out in the park and we want to do a little PDA, of course. I'm not talking about I'm trying to straddle you and kiss you like we about to break it down right here in front of the dark park. I'm saying that I don't want no pump behind kiss. If you're gonna kiss, give me some meaning behind that kiss. Like I said, a time and place, but don't. Oh, you're so beautiful. I don't care about how pretty I am. Tell me like you want me. All right, that's just what it is.
Okay. All right. I mean, it's totally fine. It's totally fair. I just think that that's where communication, of course, we hear communication is key. But also, men, you got to know your woman. You got to know what type of woman she is, because some do want that ultimate caress, soft feel, in different scenarios. And occasionally they may want you to brew and draw that ass over here. Come here, give me my kisses. But it really depends on who you're dealing with.
Yes.
But yeah, checking the comments real quick. Jamaica says, sloppy ass kisses. My mouth is right here, and why is your tongue in my nose? Like,
yes.
Checking out the comments on YouTube, just going down the link, we got I think that's the biting kiss. Oh god. How's the panel feel about light biting? Yeah, say that. And licking the eyelid, Cam?
Oh.
What?
Didn't that happen in a movie? That happened in a movie or something.
Is that
like
a thing?
That, didn't
like
it?
people actually do that?
That was a thing in a movie though. I thought I seen that, like some like funny like rom-com movie. But that's weird. That's nasty.
I've seen people, like, if somebody's crying, somebody kissing their tears away, I've seen that, but I'm not full on licking your eyelid. I've done it in jest with girlfriends in the past where I've just licked their face and just to mess with them.
Don't do that.
No, but if you can't kiss, just say that.
No, I wasn't in place of kissing. It was just to mess with them, but I'm not going to go.
That too. That's nasty. Don't be out here just with faces. That's gross. Like, the face, you have to think about this. So this is how my mother has told me. Your face has been out in this world, okay? Now, all day you've been washing your hands, you've been making sure that's clean and all this other stuff, but you haven't been washing your face all day, okay? Now, imagine if a person comes home after all day being outside in the world and you just out here taking your tongue and just scrapping it across their face. You done scrapped all the particles and where they've been and stuff like that. That's nasty.
And on the flip side of that, okay, because, I mean, especially us women, we wash our face regularly, okay? We got whole routines. Don't put your nasty ass tongue on my face. Don't do that. I don't want you touching my face, much less putting your tongue on it. That is a problem. No.
You ever have someone to be You ever have someone be bad at kissing, so you start putting your mouth everywhere on them to avoid it, not to ruin the mood? Yes.
I don't think have I ever had to do that?
Get out. Yes, it has definitely happened multiple times.
Do you guys remember your first kiss?
Give me one
I remember
second,
my first kiss. My first kiss was actually pretty dope. You know, for being, how old was I? My first kiss, I was 14.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy, he was maybe a sophomore. He was like 16 years old, so he had more experience than I did. So what I thought was experience, you know what I'm saying? But for a 14-year-old, it was good.
No, I think
Sorry
I think I was 13. Yeah, mine was like a catch 'em, like a gotta catch 'em all kind of kiss. Like it was like one of those like. It was a long corridor. We were supposed to go to lunch, and then we walked halfway to lunch. Everybody was out the hallway. He was like, "Oh, I actually forgot something in my locker. You want to go back with me?" And I'm like, "All right, cool, sure." So I went back to his locker with him. He got something. The next thing you know, he like walked in front of me, and he like, this is the time phrase where everybody was giving kisses on the cheek for respect to saying hi to each other instead of just giving hugs or just what's up. That's what we did. Anyway, Trey. So he went to go do it, and I was like, "Oh, the cheek," and then like he just kissed here. I was like, "Oh, you meant the other cheek," and then when he finally kissed me, I was like. What are you doing? What was that for? He's like, "Oh, I like you." I'm like, "Since when?" And that's just goes to show I've never been able to tell when somebody likes me. I just be out here living my life. And if something magical has to happen for me to know that you like me. But yeah, that was my first kiss. And then there was like teeth involved when it came to like tongue and stuff. It was like a lot of stuff. It wasn't the greatest.
So you guys were talking about first kisses.
Yeah, so what was your first kiss?
Oh, okay. My first kiss was probably in about the second grade. And I had no idea what I was doing, but I swore up and down she was going to be my wifey, my girlfriend. We were living in Atlanta at the time, and yeah, I was holding hands with her in class and all that other stuff. I just remember it vividly. Her name was it was Cherry Wilson or something. I think her name was Cherry Wilson. Her name, crazy. But we lived in Atlanta at the time, and you know, in the lunchroom, and she was like, "You haven't kissed me yet." So I turned to her, and I thought I was being romantic, and I grabbed her and I kissed her, and I didn't know I wasn't supposed to put my tongue in her mouth. And she was like, "Yeah!" So that kind of messed it up. That was my first kiss. I was in the second grade. I don't care which.
The second grade.
Checking out the comments again. Yes.
I'm not. If that's the case, then my first kiss is in first grade. But moving on.
Oh, you mean like the first meaningful kiss?
Yeah.
Shit. So narrowing one down. Nightclub, probably about 2006, November. Yeah, because I was a late bloomer. I ain't lose it until I was 18. So, yeah, about 2006 in the nightclub, somebody I had been talking to. I had been friend zoned, and I made it out of the friend zone with that individual. Mm-hmm. And she had been basically dancing with me all night, and she finally looked up at me, and I looked at her, and we ended up locking lips. And, yeah, we got a cab home immediately after. So, that was a pretty meaningful. It was like a build-up of intense sexual frustration for like 2 years, and yeah, that was pretty meaningful first official like grown-up kiss to me.
Okay.
Gosh. Okay. Going to the con. I think is that Dennis that was on the show last week. Dennis Shaw.
Yes.
Acknowledging the size of each other's teeth. What's up, Dennis? How you doing, homie?
Hey, Dennis.
Thanks for coming out last week. Acknowledging the size of each other's teeth. She all 90s R&B from Cam. Dennis, teeth colliding is not fun. True Kasame or somebody new to biting and they're new to biting and they go from playful to zombie.
Ow.
Ooh.
Jesus.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And checking out Jamaica. Yes, second grade was my first kiss. Yes, that was the first official kiss that I can remember. That wasn't a kiss on the cheek from my auntie or grandma. So, yeah. But moving right along. Anything else to add to the kissing conversation?
I think we covered it.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we did. We absolutely did. So, the next thing we wanted to talk about was fetishes. Kind of waiting to roll this one out because there's a plethora of different fetishes out there. There's literally a fetish for almost everything. But that's not the conversation.
Missing a whole...
What do we miss?
The A word.
Oh! Sorry. My bad. I'm thrown off again. We're going to talk about anal.
Well then.
Yeah, I'm just going to throw it out there. Let's, like, no lube, no prep, nothing whatsoever. We're going to talk about anal.
No, and that's the wrong way to do it, though. That's the wrong way.
Like that. That's why I'm saying, because last week we did speak a little bit about lubrication and different applications for it, but the main one is, well, no, technically, but the most notable one is, of course, none other than the backdoor player, the poop shoot, the number 2 and do, whatever you want to call it. Ladies,
Number 2
I'm
and do.
going to ask you. Yes. Hey, who wants to go first? Who actually participates?
Wild.
Do you participate in anal play?
Don't look at me. Don't look at me, Chase. You go first.
I'm looking at both of y'all.
No, Chase looking at me.
Oh, she looking at you? Okay.
Yeah, like I don't got no I don't got a cent, dime, or nickel in this conversation. So
So the answer for you is no. You could have went first, but like, no, I don't do it.
I want to do it. I want to do it. Okay, so the thing with me when it comes to anal is just it's an exit only, an entrance medically. So I just don't think that is something that I will probably participate unless I have somebody that makes me feel comfortable participating in it. It ain't happening, okay? It's just I won't. I have tried, not attempted. Okay, tried, attempted, not really. Like it's not. It's nope. I'm the kind of person where I am visual and audible, and then like taste wise too. So if I have it in me, like if I have it in my brain that something could happen, it's going to happen and no one's going to tell me different. And therefore we all know what happens when you play a certain department that always has one constant way out. I'm going to think that when something goes in, something's going to come back out with it. And we don't need that. We don't need that kind of, we don't need that hateration in our dancery. Okay?
But no, so a shitty situation.
A very shitty situation, yes. So I don't partake in it. I don't play it. That is not part of my sermon. It's not my religion. Okay. I don't shame those. I do shame those who do it. But that's what you want to do. That is your preference. That is what you want to live by. Perfectly fine. I just think one day if I do it, I'm just not gonna make it to the bathroom.
Are you saving it? Are you saving it for your husband? Is that what you're doing? You're saving it for his birthday? Is that what you're trying to do?
If this cat wasn't saved for the husband, you think that's going to be a special part for somebody? I don't know. That was no. I don't
What?
No.
All right, Manolo. All right, dude. No. Can you stop? Stop in the comments. No.
Stop. Okay, now you're doing too much.
Yeah, you're doing too much on me. You're doing too much on Facebook.
You happen. I mean, yeah, if you're not doing it the right way. Don't be like these orange YouTube people and just be like, surprise! Like, don't do that, please. Like, that's. You know what, Royal? Tell us what the do's and the do's nots.
I will tell y'all my do's and don'ts. Okay, now I am a person that has experience with anal. I actually enjoy it. Now, in the very beginning, when I first tried it, of course, I tried it with somebody who didn't know what they were doing, and so literally tried to go in head first. Okay, with nothing, no lube, nothing. It felt like I was being ripped apart. So, I'm saying that to say, do not just jump into it. Don't dive in head first. The first thing you have to do, of course, with everything that you're trying that's new, do your research. Okay, there are articles, forums, blogs. Okay, somebody has done it before. Just make sure that you're doing your research before you just jump into it. And make sure you're taking things slowly, okay? And get into it with a partner who actually may have some experience or willing to try that type of thing with you. First and foremost, that whole area is a muscle, okay? With every other muscle, it has to be trained. So you have to take baby steps, okay? So we talking like, they don't make plugs for nothing, okay? Plugs and anal beads, fingers, Okay, use those things
Start
before
small.
you just try to judge.
Work your way up.
That's what I'm saying. Just
Work
saying.
your way up.
Make sure that you're training this muscle to actually take something the size, of a baby arm. You know what I'm saying? So, and also, like we said on the shows before, use lube, okay? Please use lube. Lots and lots of lube, okay? Put it on him, put it on you. Use the damn lube, okay? Silicone lube works best for me. I don't know if y'all remember my pick from last week, but the Uber lube, it stays wet the entire time. You don't have any issues with drying or chafing or anything like that. So.
Okay.
And
So would you say? Oh, right.
I was going to just say, if you don't know anything about the lube, like when we spoke about it last week, or if you're unsure about it, you can go to any of your local sex shops and you can just ask them about that and they can educate you on it. They have educated classes all the time in sex shops. They go to different colleges, campuses, and everything to teach them. Therefore, they're going to have an educator in there.
Yes.
Don't be afraid to ask. If you are too afraid to ask somebody a question about something, maybe you shouldn't be doing it with your childish ass. So just, take the time to ask the questions so that way you are having a properly great time. Like how I did that, Trey? Like I did that?
Great time. I like it.
Make sure you're just doing it so that way you and your partner are having a great time and you're not being ripped open literally from top to bottom.
Literally.
So I think that a lot of, so I'll tell you my stance on it. I'm not necessarily a fan. I've participated. I've never received. I don't do that. I don't play the back limit. It doesn't happen. Sorry. No offense to those who do. Live your life. However, when I have been the giver and I've participated in it, it's not the, I don't see all the rave and desire for it. I guess it's this something that's, it's a level of depravity to do that in some people's cases, which is fine, but I just don't see it. Now, when I of course am I'm an avid sex reader. So I like to research sexual things, positions, whatever have you, and just for my own edification, my own knowledge. And I was well aware that lube is probably ideal. Now, the first time I participated in this, my girlfriend, we were in the backseat of my Ford Taurus SHO, and all I had was some Vaseline on hand. So she wanted to try it, and I was like, "This ain't the most ideal thing to do this," but insisted. So I was like, all right, cool, let's do it. And we did it.
Why do you have a jar of Vaseline in your car?
It was cold. Like, you don't keep Vaseline. Like, I keep Vaseline for lubrication reasons other than that. Your grandmama ain't never used to have some Vaseline in her purse?
I have Vaseline in my household, yes. I carry a lotion with me.
Yes.
So, yeah, like, dudes like me, we work with our hands. Sometimes we can't keep the good old Bath and Body Works lotion on hand. Sometimes
I use Bath and Body. I use Jergens. Don't be out here prejudging my lotion game.
Sometimes you just need to get some Vaseline, and it's best for your hands, especially if it's cold outside. It keeps the heat away from your fingers when you put them in. Anyway, don't be judging me. Anyway, but
just want to know why you're
Vaseline
keeping cases of Vaseline in your car.
Exactly.
Did I say a case? It's a little hand job.
And then he gonna say it with his chest. He gonna be like, "Don't be judging me."
Don't be coming for me.
All right then, security.
Hashtag proper hand care now. Anyway.
It's gonna be proper every damn thing.
For hand care.
It's called branding.
Take it
anyway.
Out of
but yeah, I mean, if a lady requests it, I'll participate. But it's not something I'm really like gung ho about getting done. Yeah, and I do. From what I've learned in my travels, is that I gave a display of this support, but you literally want to start with something small and you work your way up in gauges. You want to increase the size as you go along, if that's something you want to participate in, because it is a muscle, and you can, just like any other muscle, you got to work it out. You got to stretch it out. You got to make it, Trey have lube, well traveled. Shut.
Manola Lewis also said it's an organ, it's a muscle with an attached organ. It's an organ attached. I mean, like, you guys have to be very careful, because this is not just
careful.
Very careful. This isn't like a vaginal canal where there's a cap to it, which would be the cervix. There is no cap, baby. This goes into your intestines and all that other stuff. So you do not want to play with anything that could possibly rip, tear, and or cause an infection, because then you will get into deeper doo-doo than what you probably are in. Jamaica also said that she had a partner who shoved and I cold clock decked him in the mouth, night ruined, number blocked. So,
Facts.
yeah.
He just shoved? Whoa.
And that's what I'm saying. If you don't know what you're doing, if you go in there half cocked,
Nah, bro.
you know what I'm saying? Not only will you not get the back door, you won't get access to her door at all. Like, you done. It's over.
Exactly.
So I have an audible question for you ladies. Now, when we're talking about the anal conversation, what would be your preference? And also, ladies in the comments, if you want to answer as well. What would be your preference? Would you like to go the future route and just put a thumb in her butt? Or would you prefer, a well-endowed individual properly moved up to do it to participate anally?
Wait.
What would be your preference? Would you rather a thumb? Because, and I honestly believe that a lot of girls when this doggy style, whatever, they like a little massage right there. Come to find some, not all. But a little tickle of the brown eye kind of gets them.
Are you asking would we rather start off small and just have something just completely shoved up in there? Because that's exactly what it sounds like.
If you went through all the preferences, like, would you rather, big dick?
No. I will say that I've had up to the knuckle of a thumb. Didn't know that was happening because there was other pleasure points being hit in my clitoral, so I didn't realize that was happening until after. I was like, "Oh, this is like a different feeling. What did you do?" And they were like, "Oh, like I had my thumb in you." I was like, "Okay, that's crazy. I didn't expect you to do that. All right, cool." But I wouldn't want someone to take their rod and just kabowie up in there. That is not something I would want them to do. And I understand that, look, guys, when we're talking about like anal, we're talking about like purposeful anal play. We're not talking about I was trying to slip back in her and accidentally went down too far or went too high and hit the anal point. That one definitely hurts. And if we freak out over that, we're gonna freak out over you actually purposely shoving there. I think every guy has did the oopsie on the brown eye, okay, and have gotten the reaction of if the female liked it or not. If a female turns around, she's like, "Oh, is that what you want to do?" I mean, I guess go for it. But if she turns around and she almost threatens your livelihood, maybe that might not be the female for you to do the anal with. Okay.
I gotta stop reading the comments because now True Kasame he said Vaseline, and I just flashed back to Kill Bill.
Not Buck. Oh no.
My name's Buck. Yeah, that's not. Look, it is what it is. I've used Vaseline out of shape. And I keep Vaseline in the car, not for that reason. Troll me all you want. I don't care. Anyway.
If y'all don't know this by now, don't use Vaseline. Don't use baby oil. Don't use none of that. Okay? Go to the store. Matter of fact, if you don't want to go to the store, go to Amazon and buy your ass an actual lubricant. Okay?
And
Please.
they send it. Yeah, to your door. It's not that bad. They're like, shit. And if you want to get really freaky with it, you get flavored lube. So you do multiple things with it.
Yes.
It's broaden your horizon, gentlemen. And ladies do a little bit more. Yes. Anything to add to the anal conversation?
I think next time we should be talking about the booty grocery conversation. If people eat it like groceries, I think that's another conversation. I think. Let's have it now.
Why not?
I'm about to say that's audible. We can do that.
Is Janae Aiko the only one who only wants her booty ate like groceries, ladies and gentlemen? I personally, once again, I've had it done, not fully, but just kind of like, do you want to? I was like, no, I've never. For me, and he just kind of asked, would you want to see what it feels like? And I was like, sure. Did it for maybe 5 seconds to 30, and I was like, it's cool, but no, thank you, I appreciate it. I'd rather have some cat ate, thank you, but it's just one of those things. I just, once again, in that situation, it was asked, and once again asked again if you would like to try. There was a consensual yes or no to be heard, and then it was proceeded to do it. And if I didn't like it, I didn't like it, and then you keep going. That's how it should happen. You shouldn't just be doing it just because you want to do it. That's just no. Okay, we don't want people to get hit and kicked like a horse. Okay, that's that's going to be unfortunate. But yeah, I don't know, and I would never. I've heard one or two of my guy friends who will not be named, that had their, I think was it salad tossing? Is that the name of it?
Yeah.
Who's had their salad toss or like their goose nooshed, when it came to like the woman was given fellatio and she went to sucking on the balls and then she went a little lower and they didn't realize what was going on and they were like, oh, well, this is different and I don't mind it. I don't think it really questioned their sexuality. It was still a female pleasuring them, as much as they would like to get pleasured. But I will never do that because that is, wow, no. I am not Gabrielle Union.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and give my answer on both parts, and I feel like Chase is going to judge me just a little bit after we have this conversation.
Yes, we don't judge no kink shame.
So I've had it done, and it's not like it's something that I would ask for. I feel like if a guy is doing a good job, eating a cat anyway, his tongue might slip, every now and again. But I've had it done. It doesn't bother me. It, feels nice, but, like I said, I would prefer getting the cat ate. I think, Chase, you said the same thing, too. That you would prefer that over having the groceries ate. I have eaten the groceries one time. And I'll say this. The guy liked it. Mm-hmm. Because it was like I was doing it, or I did it in combination with giving head, and so it was like there was a stroke gang happening, and groceries got ate a little bit, but I never did it after that.
Okay. All right. As long as teeth was brushed, that's
teeth were brushed, floss, rinsed repeatedly. Okay.
I say it on both
brush, floss,
guys
rinse,
and
repeat.
females side. If you out here, not the non-sponsor.
Right.
If you want to get your booty licked on, I would suggest that you just make sure there's no hair follicles around the area. It had to be thoroughly
cleaned.
Thoroughly cleaned.
I wasn't going in there like you've been working for 8 hours all day and I'm about to just go in. No, that wasn't the case. We're talking about
fresh out the shower, and I think that's the only time it should be done, when you're fresh out the shower. I think sex play should happen fresh out the shower any which way. Yes, there are the times where you do have those, let's just do it right here and right now. I understand that.
The times you are a whore. Good.
Yeah, like I understand that, but I personally feel like the male and the female should both clean up before having sex. That's why they have like the pre-sex shower kind of thing to go into the bedroom. But like I said, if you're out in the open, carry some wet ones on you for the male and the female, just because, clean sex is the best sex. We don't need, UTIs and just irritant things happening. And, fellas, make sure you're cleaning underneath your nails. Ladies, make sure you're washing your hands. It's just,
And can we just talk about it? Can we just, while we're on this subject, because you said UTIs, men, and this is an audible, y'all, I'm sorry. Our areas are sensitive. They are delicate. Do you understand? We got a whole pH balance that we have to maintain. It don't even have to be as much as y'all washing your hands. Make sure you're washing your ass every day.
Exactly.
Okay? Please. Because if you're giving us dirty dick, it is going to affect us. Point blank.
And the thing about it is, our vaginas already hate us. They already do. We are born with cats that hate us, okay? It literally fights against itself all day. All it is just good bacteria fighting against bad bacteria. It's just all day. And sometimes that bad bacteria be winning. That hoe be running the street winning all day if it wants to, which then could cause a UTI, yeast infections, and then you have bacterial vaginosis, which is BV. And these are all things that are not caused by just dirty D. This is just stuff that happens to us by itself, like with no one else being involved. So if you can only imagine, we have to make sure that not only our own bodies aren't attacking us, but you, who we are allowing enter us, aren't attacking us either.
Yeah.
So it just goes the extra mile just to make sure that you are keeping yourself clean before any interaction. Even if y'all are already laying in the bed, it ain't nothing but a thing to walk up to that bathroom, just throw some water on it. Get a little rent.
Funny thing happened to me. I know I'm a cisgender male, and I don't need to talk in this conversation, but what I'm going to say is that I actually applaud one young lady that I messed with a long time ago. We had made an arrangement for me to come over her house, do. I had taken my shower, washed myself head to toe, hopped in the car and got over there. And she demanded that I took a shower again. Mm-hmm. And it was like, I just took a shower. Let's get to... No, I need to see you take a shower. Like, okay, all right, but I can respect it. Because guys, just comply. Just do what they say. And, make sure you clean your nails.
What the hell are you cleaning your nails with?
And a knife. And also, nobody wants to give no sucky to no pee shrimp. So I don't care in the middle of the night that you peed and you think you okay, rinse it off.
Wash it off.
Rinse it off, wash it off. Don't nobody want to go down there and you
smell that one shake that y'all be doing, that is not enough. Y'all
think it's cute and y'all putting it back in your boxes with that one little dot on your gray boxers. No. Do something and take care of yourself. Y'all grown.
Ooh, we're going to have to move on soon, y'all, because Hubducer said we're going down the rabbit hole of audibles. So
yes, but you said originally you were talking about the groceries. My opinion about that is, first off, you got to be fresh out the shower, and I agree. If you want to eat some pussy, right, you gonna slip up on some groceries. It is what it is. You go. Now the question is, do you want? Just a general question, because I've personally never done this portion of it. But do you want them to go in with their tongue, or do you just want them to go around it?
No.
Going around it is the best.
But there are some guys out there who may not have had the opportunity to do this, and they may not be aware of what the demand would be, what the requirement would be. So it's
I will say this, that when you are playing in multiple holes, you need to be very careful. Now, I am not an anal play person, and Royal, let me know if I do say anything wrong, but I feel like when it comes to anal play, if you are going to do that, let that be your concentrated sex play of the night, or let that be your last part of the night. Because when you cannot be dipping in and out between anal and vaginal. That is literally you transferring the most bacteria-filled place in our body and putting it to the most other bacteria-filled place in our body, and it is not to do well. So you should, if you're doing anal play, if you're going to be doing anal, actually leave that at the end, or let that be the one concentrated part. That's it. If you have to if you're doing a 2 pump for the night, once you're done with the anal, then maybe you can go take a shower, wash up and everything like that, and you can get into vaginal play, but do not mix the two. I hate seeing on Orange YouTube when they be dipping in and out. I'm like, that is...
And that was what I was going to say, is that it irritated... When I first tried it, like when I was first dabbling in it, it irritated me that guys would always take what they saw on places like Orange YouTube and would like treat that like it was the standard. You know what I'm saying? Like they were just like, oh, we could just go in it with no problem, raw dog it, it's fine. And then from then you're trying to go from like ass to mouth, or you know what I'm saying, like all the other stuff that you actually see.
I gotta kiss you. I'm not.
And I don't understand that. Why would you turn around and give head to what was in your booty?
Hello, like what? It's like, sorry, would you?
It's like you getting off the toilet and having your man kiss your butt.
Yes,
that's disgusting.
Exactly what it is. It's like, you know, why don't you just go lick around the toilet and see how much you like that? Because that's exactly what's happening here.
I am completely turned off at the moment.
And make sure y'all wash your booty cheeks. I feel like enough people don't wash their actual cheeks.
Who don't wash their cheeks?
I'm just saying, there's some. If we all know that there's people out here who have admitted to not washing behind their knees, not washing their legs, not washing their feet, you don't think there's people out here not washing their cheeks?
Facts. I'll take that. Yeah, that's about right.
How do you
exactly?
Okay. So that's it for the grocery conversation.
Let's go ahead and move on from there.
We hit that one. I unfortunately had a little technical difficulty, so if you can just check out the comments on Facebook. I've lost that one. I'm still looking at YouTube right now. But Checking out the comments on YouTube. Trey have lube, will travel. Shut up, Cam. Anyway, he said, Vasa, we read that one. Dennis, I've heard a lot of stories about women letting dudes try that going in dry. Okay. Flavored lube like we in back and peach. Okay, now, yeah. Anyway. Let's see.
Manalo Lewis said all hot showers matter.
Yes.
And Jamaica said facts. About Trey's knife. And about to boost, Cecilia Lobos said about to boost knife sales. And Manolo Lewis said that would be a shitty surprise to be just here doing things. So.
Yeah, no.
And over on YouTube, True Kasami said you never go ass to mouth.
Never go ass to
No,
mouth.
like I just know.
Ever.
There's no situation. Like, and I honestly, except for the videos where they are purposely camera 1, camera 2, camera 1, camera 2, they're editing when they do that in most films that I've seen. So you see a cut, they rearrange, then they start again. But I mean, you never know. In all honesty, we're talking about it badly, but it honestly could be a situation where it is somebody's fetish to do so. And if that person and their partner are into it, we are not. Who are we to judge them on what they want?
There is no
We do not kink shame.
We do not kink shame, but we gonna look at your side. I ain't gonna kink shame.
We're gonna look at your
Sideways.
sideways.
And remember, guys, we do have an aftercare on our Discord after the podcast. So if you guys want to join us afterwards and talk some more, if we didn't get to your comment or you have any other discussion points that you want to have, make sure you look us up on Discord, Kinkazoid Podcast.
We will be live talking to you directly. You'll see our faces and you got it. Hold up, where my glasses at? Where my glasses?
Oh, Lord.
If you ain't on camera, you can't get in. I don't know what the hell y'all doing. If you ain't on camera, you can't get on.
Is this because Kevin Samuels?
Trayman Samuels has entered the chat.
That was it. Anyway, speaking of fetishes, our last topic of the night, so we had a conversation about fetishes. We have conversations about fetishes in general. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes between these three. Well, technically four, the cameraman and what you call him?
Producer.
Yeah. So shout out to the big homie back there. But we had a little bit of discussion based on, do people pursue their SOs based on their fetishes or based on their personality traits, the usual rigmarole? For example, someone can be into BBWs and they will only date BBWs, but are you attracted to that? Is that a preference or is that a fetish? And we wanted to have that conversation here. So what do you ladies feel about that? Like, give me your points of view on fetish versus attraction.
I feel like if you're going to have a fetish, your fetish should come there so after who the person is. You never want to do fetish then attraction, because in that point, to me personally, you are only looking to gain something out of that person because of your fetish. And therefore, when that person is sick and tired of being treated like a main object, because that's all they are to for your fetish, and or if the breakup does eventually do happen, you're going to feel incomplete. You're going to feel like, oh, I'm going to lose the best thing ever. I've watched it on True Life. I have a fetish. And it was an episode where a guy had a foot fetish and he just loved going around sniffing women's feet and stuff. It was like the weirdest little thing. And he did have a girlfriend that he made sure her feet was always done. Like, she was his everything. But because he sought after other people's feet, she didn't feel appreciated. She's like, I thought you wanted me and my feet. But he was just like, I mean, I love you, but your feet though. And she ended up breaking up with him, and it crushed him. Like, he was very heartbroken because to him it was his perfect feet. Like, these were the perfect thing, perfect size, smell, I guess, whatever this man was talking about. Okay. So when it comes to, I know the smell, right? I know. Anyway, but when it comes to things like that, you putting a fetish, like if you are a feeder, if you don't know what a feeder is, it's somebody who likes, BBWs or large SSB BWs, supersized, big beautiful women, and they will just feed them and continuously feed them because they like seeing them grow and get bigger. If you're only doing that because you like to feed the person, you're not seeing them for who they are, their personality, their characteristics, or anything like that. So I feel like it just takes away the whole entire fetish play and the enjoyment of it, because what if I was into getting fed and you're only looking at me for that fetish? I don't feel like we're both enjoying it. You're only getting the enjoyment out of it. So make sure that you're looking for partners and seeking partners that compliment you and your fetish, and who knows, even if they're not into it, they may get into it just because of you.
Fair enough. Royal?
I feel like Chase hit on like every single point that I was gonna make. But it's the truth, especially, you know, speaking as a BBW. I've never been in a relationship where I was fetishized, at least not to my knowledge. But I am in the community, and it's just like I've seen, you know, a lot of my friends personally be in relationships where the man is only interested in them because of their size, and not anything about how, you know, what they could bring to their relationship, or, you know, how they complement each other or anything like that. It wasn't based on the relationship that the person had with the other person. It was simply based on the fact that you represent my fetish, and this is what I like, this is what I'm into, so I'm into you.
Okay. I actually have, I'm going to be contrary because it's how I feel about it. So I can only speak from my perspective as a BHM. On this side of the game, and I think my fellow BHMs will agree with me like this. We don't look at it as a downside, because it's already hard enough out here to get a woman and get sex. We got to work super hard for it. So it's a leg up to have somebody, a woman who has the fetish of I want to be, because it is a fetish. Mm-hmm. They fetishize us as the big burly man, the dad bod, which is becoming popular now, and, you know, the big beard guy. So it's a plus. Like we don't complain about it, but also men and women look at attraction and things like that differently. So we're benefiting from it while you guys are apparently suffering from it. Now, I don't think that most guys will want to be, no, I take it back now that I think about it, because some women will love to cook for you to make you fatter. And I've actually experienced that, women who cook and will force you to eat stuff that you shouldn't be eating. So it can have its ups and downs, but I ultimately don't think that it's a problem for women to fetishize men and pursue us that way. Like, if you're coming after that guy, you're showing us exactly what you like. You're doing exactly what you want. And if anything, if you're displaying that fetish, you're being something that is not readily seen in a lot of women, is being decisive and going after what you want. So yeah. I applaud you if you like BHMs. I applaud you if that's what you're into. And I applaud you ultimately if you're into BBWs, but I don't think that your fetish should be something that's focused on the unhealthy aspects of it. If anything, get together, go both work out, do what you can to try to improve your lives and make things better.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with liking plus size women or men. No. You know what I'm saying? If that is your preference, that's your preference. But like you said, Trey, if you're focusing on the unhealthy aspect of it, then that's where the problem comes in. Because it's like, you have those people who are feeders. You have those people who like to be crushed. You know what I'm saying? It's basically, they just like, oh, the bigger the better. You know what I'm saying? Yes. And it's just like, they want to feed you to get to the size that they want you to be. Meanwhile, you know, you are suffering from all types of underlying diseases and stuff like that because you're being fed all of this. You're like, they don't care anything for the person. And that's what the problem is.
And there's a difference between preferences and fetishes. A fetish is something that you personally cannot live without. Like, this is something that you need to eat, breathe, and sleep every day, all day to enjoy it. And preference is like, you know, well, okay, cool. And if I do, and that's just kind of like what I like. But if I don't get it, all right, fine. Like, it's not that big of a deal. It's just I prefer to have this. And I know that, you know, fetishes don't only result or involve kinks, like, whatsoever. Yeah. You can have like, if we look at, what is it, TLC, My 600-Pound Life, there are some people on there, more specifically the men, when it comes to women who have gotten too large to take care of themselves, the men start feeling emasculated for whatever reason. When the woman starts gaining her own independence. She's moving around more, she's doing all this stuff. And in those episodes, you're seeing a lot of the men are divorcing those women because they're able to do for themselves. They're not able to just be their reason why they're living and they're alive. I think in that form, that is a fetish to be like a helper, like I need to do for you. If I can't do for you, what am I here for? Mm-hmm. And then their feelings get hurt, like, in that kind of realm. So it doesn't have to automatically do with sex or something nasty or freaky or kinky or anything. It has to do with something that if you are not able to do it every day, all day, or be a part of it, that's when it becomes a fetish, like that. Or an addiction. But regardless of the fact. That's when it becomes something that you should. I feel like some people, their fetishes go a little too hard. And you might want to seek some help with that. Like, there's some things that you shouldn't be participating in all the time. Like, you just need to relax that.
It's definitely so. I don't want to just harp on the size conversation because we've definitely been over there plenty of times. But
yeah.
But you said something that I think that as far as, and I don't know. I think that a fetish and a preference go hand in hand though, because people who are into stuff, who like certain things, it's not a if I don't get it, I'm gonna just deal with the second option. If I don't get it, I'm not gonna deal with anything else. Mm-hmm. Some people are decisive like that, and they're like, I don't want that. So if that's my only option, I'm just not gonna deal with anything because no matter what, if I do it, it's not gonna work. So I think that fetish and attraction, I think they do go hand in hand. Because like dudes, if you dude meets a woman who's perfect in everything that he wants up top, but he looks down the bottom at her feet, and the pinky toe is sitting over that direction, and he's done. She could be the last one on the face of the earth until she cut that toe off. He don't want to deal with her, Mm-hmm. So I think it does go hand in hand when it comes to that. But now, as far as when you first meet somebody, are you trolling Dennis? What? Darren Smith.
This is true.
Did you see his comment?
Darren said, thank you, Thor, for the dad bod. Darren said there's a new show called My 1,000-Pound Girlfriend, someone's new Lifetime show, and then we don't kink shame. I'm not kink shaming, okay? That's not what I do. I don't kink shame, all right? And then Jamaica said, in speaking of the show, she says when she's no longer dependent, it becomes a problem, and he's no longer her Superman. I think that's another thing that it is like you want to feel like I am your savior. Like I helped you do this. I helped you, get through this and stuff like that. And if it wasn't for me, I mean, we all have like I know some people who are like that. Like they want to get the congratulations of everything that they've done to make your life like get better and stuff and pat themselves on the own back. And it's just like that's so dumb and everything that it is. But like we said, when it comes to different fetishes, make sure that you're looking up, researching, and looking into what you may think you might have a fetish. You might have a fetish and not even realize you have a fetish, Mm-hmm. So maybe one day just do some research on it. Like I said, if you don't have the confidence to ask, talk, and research about it, then you don't have the privilege to be out here getting kinky with people, okay? Be an adult.
Facts.
And facts at the same time. All right. Anything else to add to the I don't got no type conversation?
No, I don't got a type.
Okay. All right. Last one of the nights, ladies. I think we've run everything down. Oh, I almost started reading notes for another show. Not that. There was ladies and gentlemen, we do have we talk about our Discord here a lot because we do want to drive a lot of interaction there. We feel like we can have deeper conversations there. We can stretch out more. We can express more, and we can just do more there. And one of the options that you have there is actually our ideas and suggestions channel. Mm-hmm. And a member of the group actually put one in there a couple of days, or maybe a week ago. We might have missed it until now. But it's basically, she suggested we have the conversation about hypergamy. And for those of you who are not familiar, hypergamy is basically the practice that, it's a little bit of a red pill term, yes, I know. But it's the practice that women date up, and also the adverse of that is men date down. So the thought process is that women will not date men who do not make more than them, or at least or on equal footing, and that men don't give a fuck about your money. We will date the girl at McDonald's and be a millionaire and be happy. So that's the conversation we had, because there was a video that she posted in the group as well, right, ladies?
It was. Yes. The video was a TikTok video, and the girl was basically saying that, if you don't have the money to buy her a gift or send her on a trip or, buy her anything or send her money or whatever. If you don't have the money to do that. Or just even take
her out on a date. Like,
right, or take her out on a date.
They want a date.
If you don't have the money to do that, or if you're trying to, go halfway or saying, hey, you cover it until I get paid, then you don't need to have a girlfriend. You need to save your money up and stay single.
Okay.
And I think on the other premise of it is waiting. I think she said something like, if you're waiting for your next check to do something for me, if I ask something or if I say, hey, can we, and you're like, oh, you did, I'll wait to my next check, she's like, then maybe you shouldn't be in a relationship.
Right.
I guess to her, sometimes at this point, you shouldn't be alive either, because there's a lot of things I'm waiting for my next paycheck to do.
Hello.
For myself. Called pay a bill.
And so there was a guy in that video as well, because I think he stitched her video.
Yeah.
And he was basically saying that, he's not interested in that type of woman. You know what I mean? If y'all can't be adult and meet each other halfway and, do for each other or whatever, then you don't need to be in that type of relationship. Period. That's not the type of person that you're supposed to be with. And I agree with him 100%. Okay? Because I feel like as adults, we should be, and I mean, we all have that, or we were all taught that men are supposed to foot the bill or, at least offer or whatever the case may be. But I have no problem with meeting you halfway. If you offer to pay for a bill, I'm probably the type of person that I am. I'm like, I don't have a problem paying for myself. But if it's something that you want to do, even after I offer and you're like, no, I got it, then I'll step back and be like, okay, thank you. The next one's on me. Or if we go to the movie, you buy the tickets, I'm about to popcorn. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm going to meet you halfway in a relationship. I'm not going to expect you to foot the bill.
Exactly. Okay. When it comes to a relationship, I think that I'm on the same wave as Royal when it comes to that. And I know that there are, obviously, we have older generations and even generations who, like, same people as our age or even younger, who still have that mindset of, like, the man, like Royal says, should foot the bill. Everything should be paid for. Everything should be, there was that viral video. Actually, that family had just went on Iyanla Fix My Life for her last episode of her show. They were part of the finale when a viral video, I believe 2 years ago, when the man said, my wife ain't never had to pay for anything. My kids don't have to ask for nothing. They've all been to college for free because I paid everything. She can work. Any money that she makes, it's her money. I take care of everything. That's what a real man does. And I think we're forgetting what a man is supposed to be doing in the household. Yes, you paid for everything, but your family crazy. Everybody's bonkers. There's something going on with your family. So, like we can only take from what people are showing and displaying, obviously, on social media, especially now. And I know that we have older generations always say, like, the man's supposed to be doing this, the man's supposed to be doing that. And, like, we have to change the rhetoric. If how you want to live and what your marriage or your relationship looks like, that's what you're doing. Personally, for me, I know, especially with, like, my mother, she hates the way that I conduct myself in relationships. But I'm like, Royal, like, everything should be 50-50. As much as I'm putting into this relationship, you should be putting in this relationship. It's not only about financial input, it's emotional input, spiritual input. Like, what are we inputting into this relationship to make sure that we're okay? And if I'm living by myself and you're living by yourself, if you want to take it upon yourself to pay one of my bills, I'm going to tell you no, because I can take care of myself. But if you're pushing me on it, okay, fine, sure. Take care of it if you like. But I'm the type of person where I don't even want to take from my own mama. Okay. And that's just her going like, oh, here's $20 for the gas. I don't need the gas, mother. I'll stick that back into her purse. I'll say, so I think we've all been pretty raised, by our parents to be such an independent person. And I know there comes that rhetoric of like the independent woman or the independent Black woman of like, she don't need no man and blah, blah, blah. It's just one of those things. If it's not that we don't need a man and if we do, he has to pay for everything. It's we've been pushed to make sure that we're able to handle our own. And I think Royal has spoke about this beforehand too, about her dad telling her how to fix certain things and surfaces in her household and just taking care of her stuff. And that comes into billing, In my family, I can tell you right now, my brothers don't know nothing about nothing in the financial stabilization that my mom has set up for herself. Or if unfortunately one day she passes or anything, me and my sister know that. It's put on a female to know these things financially more than it is a male, depending on your living situation, unless you like the only son or like, you know, something like that. But I personally don't see there's a problem with a male making sure he has his bag, nor is it a problem for a female to make sure she has her bag. I think everybody is working paycheck to paycheck unless you're making a good substantial amount of money, you know, annually. And I don't think her point of view. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, I was just going to say, so just to shake things up, because I think you guys are talking about this, but I think the conversation is more so on the side of as a dating aspect. So take yourself out of the thought process that you were in a relationship with this individual already. So initially you're meeting someone, like you meet somebody at McDonald's, and the hypothetical is, there are two hypotheticals. There's a well-to-do woman who walks in and finds the guy behind the counter attractive. Let me ask you this for that initial situation. Would she, or if you were that woman, he shoots a shot at you, would you take him seriously? Would you date him? You make $150,000 a year, he makes 20. Would you take him seriously?
Depending on his approach.
Really?
I was about to say no.
Honestly, depending on his approach, it depends on his approach. You're speaking to women who actually have common sense. So maybe if you spoke to someone who thinks that they should deserve only the highest paying person, then yeah, sure, they're not going to talk to him. But it depends on your approach to me. Any man who comes to me has to have the correct approach. So if you're standing behind me with your McDonald's visor and you're saying, "Welcome to McDonald's, how are you doing? And how can I help you? Because you're looking scrumptious, delicious. I want you to take you in the back and do you on top of the fryer." No, I'm not obviously going to take you on a date. I'm not going to do that. But if you talk to me in a proper way and maybe somehow sneak out the door while I'm getting my order, you step to me correctly, who knows? I can talk to you. This is not like the situation I think it was in Think Like a Man when it came to Rashi P. Henson, who was this big time lawyer, when you had Michael Ealy, who was this truck driver, like, and then she realizes after, oh, I love the truck driver because the big time lawyer man wasn't good enough for me. Oh, you should have realized that from the get go. He was letting you know who he was before, like, you know, any of that. And I just think that's, I think if you belittle a person just by their job and you know nothing about them, that's disgraceful.
So, but that's the thing. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say, the fact of the matter is, for one, you walking into McDonald's, I don't care how fine a person is. I'm not the type of person that's going to approach somebody first anyway. That's never been me. But like Chase said, depending on his approach, then, you know what I'm saying, I might give him the type of day. But even if somebody's working at McDonald's, you don't know what their life is. He could be working at McDonald's and working on his master's. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know.
See, that's the thing. So the thing is, this is all about this is your first initial impressions. First time meeting this person, the only caveats that you have is he works behind that counter. And you know me, you make $125,000 a year. And he shoots a shot, he says everything perfectly. Would you give him a chance?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I think that's cap. I think that's not the truth. But let me finish. Because generally, women in general, no caveats added. You don't even see those guys. You don't even think those guys exist. They are a drone. They just work there. They'll say something nice. You'll say something cute. They might get a fake number, or you might, because ultimately you're never going to see that person again because you don't run in the same circles. Just like with Think Like a Man, there's no way, that movie is such bullshit in my opinion, because there's no way this high-powered lawyer is going to take this dude. She's not going to get a man a chance. And yes, they did do the fake out. I'm going to put all this together and do this romantic dinner, and eventually our friends are going to meet up. They're not even going to be in the same cycle. There's no way he's getting to give her the grade A pipe to change her life. There's no way she's even going to let him a chance to do that. He was a bum by all standards. There's no way that happens. So the thing about hypergamy is that women don't date down. You rarely see that, and when you do see that happening, unless you two came up together and he just hasn't reached the pinnacle that you've reached, it doesn't work. It doesn't last. So generally speaking, women don't date down. They don't date guys.
I mean, right now I'm making more than what a McDonald's worker makes.
Yeah.
And if I walked up to him and if he approached me nicely, like when I was going through a drive-through, like a Dunkin' drive-through, and like, you know, this dude came to me and he was just like, oh, hi, here's your order. I'm like, oh, thank you. And like, you know, he's like, do you want anything else? Like, I'll get it for you. And I'm like, I mean, if you want to, like, it's one of those things. Like, if you're going to give me that, like, tit for tat, if you're going to give that playfulness with me, I'm going to do it with you. Now, I know Dunkin' Donuts workers don't make near as much as me, and his pockets didn't matter to me. You know what I'm saying? And we're talking about, you're making it a grand scale. I'm a basic worker, okay, 9 to 5, baby. I don't make $50,000, $60,000 a year, okay.
I get you.
So you know what I'm saying. So in any regard, if I'm going to be making more money than any, and I'm not saying like any particular just fast food worker. I'm not saying we're just talking about that, but in any regard, most people, because of the great country we're living in, not everybody's going to be making the amount of money they should be making working in a certain industry. So at that point in time, is money, I want to know what your money is, what you're doing with that money, first of all, like what you're getting. But if we're talking about on a first basis, I don't know you don't know me, and all we have is where our occupancies are standing, it depends on how you approach me. After the approach, that will determine if I talk to you or not. Now, some people could say you turned him down because he's a McDonald's worker. Or homie said he was gonna take me back in the deep fryer room and do me like a bag of chips. I don't know.
So the situation that I gave you wasn't that gross example of, oh shorty, I'm a low price worker, let me fuck. Nobody said that. That's a gross example. So let me finish. So the example that I gave was strictly for that parameters, to give an example of the general thought. You have your own anecdotal experience where you may be willing to talk to that guy. But generally speaking, like the girl who put that video up, who said you shouldn't be dating, those are the general. That's the portion of the population that I'm speaking of. No, she may not make 100,000, and a lot of them don't make 90% of them don't make 100,000 over and over a year. But they still look at a dude that's down there as below them, even though her and that dude are at the same level. And she considers the same level dating down, and that's the general thing out there. That's the majority of the population of women that look at dudes. You don't even see the guys who are the truck drivers, the plumbers, the package slingers.
I think we've had this conversation before, Trey.
We've had this conversation.
Look at how old this girl is. Okay, yeah. She has to be in her 20s. I'm sorry, and I'm thinking like early 20s. Okay, we ain't talking about mid to late where you starting to get your shit together. Okay, these are these early 20-year-old kids. Sorry, I know y'all grown. You know, I'm just saying, but it's the fact of the matter.
We are 30. It's cool. Go ahead.
And they are out here looking for what Kevin Samuels would consider a high value man. Okay, that's what they're looking for. That's what they feel they deserve. You know what I'm saying? When you're talking about women who are our age, okay, women who have careers, I'm just gonna say it this way. If you look at our generation right now, there is, I want to say the majority of the population of women are making more than the men out here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we are not looking down our noses at the blue collar workers. We're not looking down our noses at these men. These are hard-working men. You know what I'm saying? You're going to work every day. You are getting a paycheck. You bringing something to the table. Why am I looking down at you?
Exactly. But my whole thing is this, that I agree with some of what she said. And I'm saying this for females and males. If you are telling me you have to wait till your next paycheck to do something, you shouldn't be dating. And I say this for females and males. If you do not have your money in order to not even take care of you, how are you supposed to be in a relationship with a whole nother person? We all know relationship costs money. There's anniversaries, there's 2, 3, 4 holidays, there's birthdays, there's things that happen in between that. There's vacations you might want to take. There's just because gifts. There's they mother's day. There's so much things that happen within a relationship that will cost money. Even if y'all split in a bill okay, at a restaurant. That's still money being expunged out of your bank account. Therefore, if you are not right and ready financially, then you should not be in a relationship. Now, I'm not saying that you can't be broken in a relationship. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that you need to be financially right to be able to handle a relationship. And coming with that financial, it should be mental stability too, because you can't also be like, what is his name? Jason, whatever, off the game. Like, you can't have money and then be the most cheapest person in the whole entire planet that that damages that relationship because you're not allowing your, to flourish or like have a little bit of fun. We're not talking about spending $100,000 on things here and there, but we're talking about just little things. That is another way that a relationship can be ruined over financials if you're too stipulated with money. So I just feel like you both should be financially okay to enter a relationship, male or female. But yeah, if you sit here repetitively going, oh, I gotta wait for my next paycheck, babe, you need to concentrate on what you got going on. Your bills is overpaid. The credit bureau is double checking your stuff. You need to get it together, okay? You don't need to be worried about love. You need to be worried about your credit.
And I mean, I can agree with a lot of that. It's just that you never know what somebody's financial situation is going to be. Okay, because even you can get into a relationship or start dating somebody and they seem as though they have their finances together. Anything can happen. He could lose a job. He can get a job making less than what he was making initially, or vice versa. Same thing could happen to her. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to cast judgment on that person if they're saying, hey, I need to wait till my next paycheck. Because I say that a lot too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got bills. It could be I've already paid my bills. I don't have a lot left over to do X, Y, and Z.
I don't have a lot of free money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I say that all the time. And I'm like, look, this sounds like fun, but I got to pay my mortgage. I got to pay my light bill. You know what I'm saying?
So I think it's important to delegate the lesson to those who are younger than us, that you shouldn't look down. You shouldn't be looking up at, unless you can achieve that. That's one thing I do agree with Kevin saying, is you got to check yourself before you start looking up and ignoring what's on your level. And that goes for our age range on down. You need to really evaluate yourself, make sure you're in check, make sure you're good before you start reaching higher than you can possibly achieve, because you're not setting the right expectation. Yes, we've had the conversation before, but that is related to what what Grace put into the group. So that's why I came back up. But ladies, I think we've hit everything. It is past 10 o'clock. As you can see, the eyes have gotten heavy. Yeah, we got to get to our aftercare.
So you better drink some coffee. We got a whole aftercare to deal with.
Yes, we do have a whole aftercare to deal with. If you do want to join us, make sure you get on the Discord. I did pin the link in the fan page. Hit us up there. We appreciate everybody who came in, who's been engaging in the comments. We love you all. Please come join the conversation afterwards, because you get to see us totally unhinged, because that's what we got. We ain't got no structure now after this, so now you get us off the cuff for a good 30 to 45 minutes.
We won't leave it there.
We'll leave it there. Yes, and make sure that you guys are liking, subscribing to our YouTube channel. Make sure you're liking our Facebook page and following us on Instagram. And once again, I believe our Hubducer has pinned the message in our Facebook Live, and also Trey has put it in our fan page. Make sure you guys are just following us everywhere so you can keep up with us the best way that you can, so you can always get your kinky on. Because remember, we give you some education on your form of stimulation. So make sure you guys are going into... That's the tagline. So make sure you guys are going into our waiting room, okay? We'll be over there very, very, very shortly. If you have any comments or opinions that you feel like didn't get heard, come bring them on over. Make sure you put your bonnet on, okay? We know that hair is got to get ready for work tomorrow, so make sure you get your bonnet on, your do-rag, and make sure that waves are looking all right? And make sure that you got a clean background or whatever. We don't care if you're in the sheets or not. We're going to talk to you, all right? So make sure you join us on our Discord. And until next week, guys, keep it kinky. We'll see you later.
Peace.
Bye, y'all.